This is a podcast about just opinions.
Hey, yo, this is what it is. This is what I think.
We all have kind of outlandish takes.
Like, don't at me.
If there's other free form stuff that comes with it, we cover that too.
Hey, hold on real quick. Hold on. Pause.
We got Jock in the house. We got Gerry in the house.
Oh shit.
How y'all doing? We back.
Mike and Chance in the house.
Y'all already know.
Bag to bag.
You guys been doing all right this week? Yeah. How was this week, Gerry?
Man, pretty productive.
Pretty productive. Yeah. It was good. Yeah. That's cool, man. That's
we
cool,
all
man.
work really hard.
Yeah.
Except for me, I don't do shit. But what about you, Jack?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was actually like a very long week for me. But
Me
you know,
too.
not in a bad way. It just was long, you know. But overall it was really good.
That's cool. Me, I just be out here and shit. I had a pretty good week though.
Well, that's why we're all in the mobile studio drinking Crispy Boys
Always.
on a Friday night.
Gotta drink them Crispies, you know what I mean? How was your week, Mike?
It was good. It's busy as hell.
Busy always.
Always doing too many things.
Mr. Corporate, man.
Mr. Working.
Mr. Suspenders and britches looking at.
I works too hard for my. I works too hard. I started not to give it to you.
Let me tell you something about my money, player.
The beautiful part, though, we're in November. This is one of my favorite times of the year. I like October.
You always go
Halloween.
to a Texan game around this time.
I do. I get kind of lucky, that I seem
like every year, like the past 5 years I've known you.
Something like that. Yeah. I went this week, of course.
Well, there it is.
Well, Texans Colts. It was a Thursday night game, and as y'all know
Prime
me,
time.
and that was part of the reason why I went. I was like, hell yeah, work on a Friday is a little bit different from work on a Monday, you know. So it's a lot of bit different. So I'm like, yeah, I'd rather go to the Thursday night game. But it was funny because it wasn't funny at all. But it took me an hour 45 minutes to get there.
God damn, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, so I was already kind of annoyed. But, you get to the game, and it's funny because I'm a Niners fan, right? But I'm a Brady fan. Like, those are my allegiances. So I root for the Texans. It's the home team, but I really don't, I won't shed a tear if they lose.
You're right.
But when you're there, it's funny how it's an entirely different feeling.
You get, like, brung in.
You get brung
to
in,
that culture.
and it's weird when you're watching a game live. I love it. Don't get me wrong. It's just different. It's like going to a concert. It's more like you're watching all this lively energy, and you get up, you go grab something at the concession, you come back. There's breaks. You can kind of ride the
Between
emotion.
The plays. It's not like commercials. And
yeah, you ride the tempo of the crowd as opposed to really watching what's happening in the game. Yeah. When you watch it on TV, you see what's going on. You can see everything. No matter what, you're either going to have nosebleed seats where you can't see enough detail, or if you have really good seats, I had pretty good seats.
See too
you're
much
so close.
Detail.
Well, yeah, you see
you're just
so
like looking
close.
at the sideline the whole time.
If something's happening on the other side of the field, it's harder to see.
For sure.
But it's funny because third down, everybody's slamming the back of the seats. Anytime there's a first down, that's a Houston Texans first down. It's cheesy as hell, but of course I got into it.
Drinking them Crispy Boys.
Drinking the Crispy Boys, but that's kind of the point I was making, is that tribalism comes in. We talked about this a little bit last time. It's just that, hey, we're all rooting for the same team. We're all rooting for Houston. People get all fired up and just start chanting. I couldn't give two shits if they make the playoffs or don't. I like when Houston's good. That makes the city just more lively. I mean, we see it with the Astros. Yeah, we saw it with the Astros most recently, but it's funny how tribal things can get. But it's a good time. Definitely enjoyed just getting my turning my thinking brain off for a little bit.
Man, that's what's up.
So how did everybody enjoy the game though? Like when you were there, like how was the atmosphere?
It was
How was
fun.
Giorgio?
He was hype. He talks to everybody there. They all know him. He's like, hey, yeah, high fiving everybody. But it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, but Mike, how about you give the listeners a little intro to Giorgio himself?
Yeah, we talked about Giorgio.
Yeah, guys, for you guys that don't know Giorgio, we talked about him. Was it last part? The one with Jock? Yeah, or we talked about your parents and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Giorgio used to be like the most gangster like dude in the world. And like he's from Rochester, right?
Yeah,
New York.
From New York.
Rochester, New York. Big family. They're all like Italian and shit like that. And like I remember one time, I'll tell you guys a funny story about Giorgio. And I'll let Mac take over about it. But the first time I ever really remember meeting this guy, it was Mike's like birthday, and I think he was turning like 10 or 11 or some shit. And we were in the pool house, like the little clubhouse thing, and we were playing some game. I forgot what the fuck game it was. But like Georgia was like, all right, if you win, you get a present. This is like, all right, cool. And like whatever, the first game, I won that shit. And I was like, yo, so what's up with my present, Georgia? He's like, all right, here's your present. He just like punches me in the fucking like shoulder. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like 10 years old, bro. Like,
I think that was the same party you almost drowned.
Oh, I drowned at like every party, bro. So like that doesn't narrow it down.
Jock, you can't swim either, huh?
Hell no, I can't swim. So
I
here's
was
the
direct
thing.
with that.
Gary's like the only nigga that's ever been a lifeguard.
Gary's Aquaman.
So here's the thing, and this probably won't make sense at all, but I can swim underwater, but not on top of water. So what I mean by that, I'm about to explain.
I can't.
Yeah, hey, that's
So
just an innuendo for the ladies and shit.
But no, what I mean by that, so underwater, like I guess I'm more like not as scary because I'm already in the water, so I can like try. But when it's like trying to do the on top, like
doggy paddling,
yeah,
man,
paddling,
I pay
I
money to
can't.
see you do doggy paddling.
Man, I'm gonna drown, lose my life, man.
I'm just scared of open water, bro. You know what's made me scared of open water? That movie, Open Water.
Hell yeah, that's the worst.
I hated that movie, bro.
You ever see that movie 47 Meters Down?
Yes.
It's like cheesy as hell, but it's actually pretty entertaining.
Yo,
you know,
when I was in the loony bin.
What's crazy is they actually brought out the like 47 Meters down uncaged. I didn't even.
Oh yeah, it's a
bother
new one.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
I didn't even
sequel.
bother watching the sequel. What was
sequels
crazy?
to shitty movies are rough. Typically.
Yeah.
I ended up
Why do they do it
being
like
able to
Sharknado?
Yeah, I heard about that. I was able to get 47 Meters down in 1080p, like on bootleg, like the week it came out online.
Hell,
It
you
was
bootleg
wild.
man.
It was wild. No, it was. I think I was using Cody, like a little Fire Stick joint.
Oh word.
Yeah.
Yo, when I was in the loony bin last year, I made all like I had a whole gang. I literally had like a gang of like friends that were like all girls or whatever. Like they just like follow me around and shit like that. And we'd like stay up and watch the movies because we were the normals. We called ourselves the Knights of Normal D. You know what I'm saying? Because we were all like normal compared to the other crazies in there and shit. And like, yo, me and fucking Cece and Meredith and shit, we used to always watch the fucking like 47 Meters Down because we used to be on the Netflix. Because they wouldn't let like the other people, because they were like, they treated the other people like kids, bro. It was just kind of sad, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're like all old.
Well, some of them
and
need
shit.
dependent,
Yeah, but I mean, like, damn, you can't watch a rated R movie. Like, you're like fucking 57 years old. What the fuck? Like,
permission slips.
hell yeah.
I just love this time of year because everybody's in town. I feel like
Me too.
everybody's in town for Thanksgiving. That's coming up. It's always much needed. I feel like we're all working too hard and like we need that big meal. It always hits at the right time.
It does. And then just like just seeing all like your loved ones who you haven't saw in a while and just spending time and hanging out because life is short. You know what I mean? So like
telling me, brother.
Yeah. So you just really gotta cherish every moment with everybody.
You do, dude. I love this time of year because, like you said, Mike, this is when everyone kind of comes into town and shit that you haven't seen in a while. And like I told you today, when I was at the fucking barbershop with my boy, I seen my little homie, Lil Earl. I was like, what the fuck, Lil Earl? I haven't seen you in like 10 years, bro. Where the fuck you come from? He's just like, hey, I've been around. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude.
People
like,
just come out of the woodworks.
yeah, they just pop up, show up. Hey, dude, what's up?
People all at work do like the Thanksgiving potlucks.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I brought mac and cheese again.
Work parties go hard, fam. You got a bunch of those coming up. I know you do.
We have them all the time. After a while, it's kind of like, all right, man.
I think we should start a Friendsgiving.
I
How
was
come
thinking that.
we never did that?
Well, we're gonna start a Friendsgiving.
Okay.
For sure. I want to have an annual like Christmas party,
That'd be cool too.
but then also we talked about having a basketball tournament.
Yo, yeah. Actually, yeah, we talked about that shit. And this is actually...
I was thinking about this before Chance
Yeah.
was even mentioned it to me.
Yeah, this is actually my mom's idea. Because of my little brother's passing and shit. Like, he was obviously a big hooper and shit. And she wants to start this thing. It's funny because, like, all this shit actually stems from Mike. Mike made this thing called Chase Jam, which is like the fucking most hilarious shit. But my little brother never used it. But like I showed my mom, like, like all like the artwork and shit that like he had, like in the tuck and shit, and she loved that one. So like during like like for the vigils and all that shit, she had a bunch of shit like using Mike's design of Chase Jam, bro. And so she wants to like literally do a whole basketball tournament about this shit. And so we're gonna do it. Like we got a bunch of events coming up.
It's gonna be sponsored by
Shit.
Foundation. The Don't At Me, nah.
Yeah,
But
yo.
we will have. Hey, we'll throw out some
repertoire.
Don't At Me t-shirts. Speaking of,
Oh yeah, we got Joy
Speaking of-
Taylor Fan Club t-shirts coming up too.
yeah.
You guys want to join that?
For sure.
Hit me on the retweets.
We got Don't At Me stickers and like t-shirts. We got like simple shit coming. But it's a start. It's a start.
Shit. Speaking of that, Jock, you got the Black Monarchs, right?
Yes, I do. And thanks for
Don't be shy.
bringing that
Don't
up.
be shy,
You
man.
wearing it
Put
right
that
now.
See, I'm actually wearing it. I wish y'all can see it. You know, once we start doing the video joints, you know, y'all see it.
We'll put it on the, when we
yeah.
post the shit.
But yeah, so last podcast I talked about.
Why you getting naked right
doing
now,
some-
bro? We
I'm
got a
just-
video going on.
I know. I'm just taking a song. I'm getting kind of hot.
What?
But yeah, so last podcast I talked about doing like some pro-black stuff that's, you know, celebrating black R&B legends, you know, such as Janet Jackson, Phyllis Hyman, who else? I'm not gonna say Beyonce because I respect Beyonce. She's the queen of Houston, but I'm going back to like the 80s, the 70s, Donna Summer, you know, that type of vibe. So basically, on the front, you know, I have black monarchs. You know what monarch means? It's like a queen, a ruler, you know, a high status
Of a monarchy.
Exactly. And then on the back of it, I have pictures of different people that I actually like, who I'm talking about right now. So I'm having it on my website pretty soon. Hopefully, I got to work some kinks out, but I'm excited about
Plug
it.
'em up.
I already got, you know, some good commentary on this shirt, and I just, like I said, I have it today. This is just a sample.
Gotta
So-
shout it out. We gotta put the pic out.
Yeah. So once again, you know, my
A Thanksgiving
Instagram,
special.
Right. Instagram's gonna be Pierre Style Clothing. That's PIERRESTYLE Clothing. So just follow that website or Instagram, excuse me, and then on the top of it you'll see my link that you can actually click on, and it'll send you to my website.
We'll start selling it. Don't worry. We gotta have Black Friday specials.
I don't know about all that.
Black Monarch Black Friday.
Yeah, I know about, but it's coming
Something
soon.
like that should come out.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Something like that. So Thanksgiving, I love Thanksgiving. I like the people part of it, the food part. So I've never really understood this because I've bounced around a lot of different Thanksgiving hosts, right? And I've noticed a trend. Like, the more Caucasian you are, the earlier you eat.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
I asked my dad's
That is
side,
true.
and you know, they're all like, "Oh yeah, we'll probably eat about 1." And then like I talked to Jamal, and he's like, "Yeah, we're usually eating about like 5." He's not black, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, Jamal, but he's, you know, Afghan. But it's just like the more white you are, I feel like the earlier that eating time is. You know.
Right.
Everybody's tired, middle class, fancy. About 4 p.m. Like, oh man, I'll have a gravy sandwich now.
Let's watch the game.
Yeah.
Buck.
I do like the football starts. Why does it start 30 minutes earlier?
I
Like,
don't
what does
know.
that do?
I have no idea. But
That's
hey,
the fucking
guys,
NFL, man.
I have a question. So do you guys like pumpkin pie or sweet potato
Sweet
pie?
potato pie.
Because it was always a question for me. Like, I never really tried pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie is fucking nasty.
I grew up on sweet potato pie. So.
Pumpkin
You throw some
anything to
whipped
me
cream?
is
You
just
throw some
fucking
whipped cream
gross.
on it?
Yeah, pumpkin pie whipped cream. Yeah.
It hits. I don't know.
You said it slaps.
That shit
Shit
slaps.
slaps, yeah.
Y'all gotta put me
It's
on.
important,
me
though.
too.
Yeah, because
I like-
I've been to like different cultural like Thanksgiving and shit. Like, because I spent Thanksgiving with Chloe's family. I spent Thanksgiving in California like 2 years ago, type shit. Like on Thanksgiving type shit, you know. And obviously, Thanksgiving, like we used to always go up to Dallas to have Thanksgiving, like at my aunt's, and then my mom started doing it for like 4 or 5 years or whatever. But like, I mean, it's always been a different thing. It's like you said, it's always something like different. Like the times that you eat, if you like have food for like all day, like things of that nature. I mean, it's just weird. But what's funny to like me about Thanksgiving is like how people like drink. Like
Dude,
during the day.
I drink a lot. Our people drank a lot last year for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you got
Oh,
toe
yeah.
up and the flow up.
Yeah, we got pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy on the drinks.
What do you guys do? Like, what do y'all do for Thanksgiving usually?
What's black? What's specific to black for Thanksgiving?
So go ahead, Gerry.
Sweet potato
Well,
pie.
I say when it comes to my family, since they're Caribbean, it's a little different. And-
Ooh,
and-
do y'all be
and-
having a
and you
jollof? Oh wait, that's African.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
And,
is.
and when you mention the time frame, so the black, the more Caucasian you are, the earlier it is. When it comes to my family, it's usually about 7 p.m. So like you said,
7 p.m. Hell
so,
yeah.
and the party doesn't end until about
First
1,
thing you eating all day, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
7
all
p.m.
no. With black
It's
people,
all
it's really like an all day thing because
Yeah.
they start
That's what I'm
cooking
saying.
like night before,
Right,
like
yeah.
middle of
And
the night.
And for some reason, the food is not ready until 5 p.m.
Yeah,
Right.
How does that happen?
And I was gonna mention that actually to piggyback off of what you said. Like it starts around 7, 8, maybe 9 sometimes.
And also
I mean,
it'd be
that's
like
another
4
thing.
turkeys.
Yeah,
It'd be like,
have-
like swear to God,
three
it'd be
hams,
like
all
one of them be blackened. One of them be like
have y'all ever been
deep fried.
to an Italian Thanksgiving?
You know what? I don't know too many Italian people.
I don't either. But I've been to like 1 or 2 Thanksgivings that were Italian.
Forget about it.
Main pasta.
Who shit you into?
I'm not really a big
friend of my dad's.
I'm not really a big pasta person.
I cut back
personally.
because I used to eat it a lot when I was like twice as big as I am now.
Like literally.
Almost. A third as big, a half as big. But I love pasta. I like pizza. I like a lot of Italian foods.
Yeah.
I like olive oils, like Mediterranean.
You know what's
diets.
funny? It's like all the same shit. Like Italian and like Mexican
It's
food.
not very
It's
different.
literally all the same ingredients. It's just a different way of like cooking that shit.
Well, if you look at like Mexican food, at least Tex-Mex,
Uh-huh.
you're literally eating the exact same thing in every single meal, except for the medium is different. Like it's different tortilla, or
Right.
shell, or crust, or
But it's the
bowl.
exact same shit.
It's meat, cheese, it's taco, burrito,
Yeah.
like,
Enchiladas, same
That's
shit.
just like taco is like tortilla, meat. Burrito, bigger tortilla, meat. Enchilada, corn tortilla, meat, and cheese on top, and some kind of a sauce. Chimichanga, deep fried. Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay. It's like, how do you want your tortilla today, sir or ma'am? That should be the question. Enchilada style. I like Thanksgiving too because everybody that comes back in town, like from being. When we were younger, people were out of town for, they're in college, Now it's like people that live elsewhere will come in to see the family.
Yeah.
I remember we had a story 12 years ago. Jock and I went back Thanksgiving, going to Cy Falls. You remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
This popped
man.
up in my time hop today. 12 years ago, I said, I'm mad at Cy Falls. Jock, what happened? What did we do? For the detailed account from your recollection, you, Steven, and I, what did we do? I was back in town
Damn, I forgot
from
about
college.
Steven.
I was back in town from college, and I said, you know what? Let's go visit some teachers.
Right. So basically, I stay across
Yeah,
the street.
Jen says what? I was cool with one teacher. So I was cool with like
fucking
2
the
teachers,
teachers like that?
actually.
Yeah.
Just 2 of them, actually. Like Miss Arnold,
word.
Miss Salam. Shout out.
Salam was cool. But yeah, so basically, I stayed across the street from South Falls. So literally across the street, like 2-minute walking distance. So I don't know where we parked our cars at. I think it was in my neighborhood, and then we just walked across. And we kind of thought we were big shit. Not gonna lie, we came in there like, yeah, we older now, we graduated, got all these kids in here. So as soon as we started walking, I think it was who's the I forgot her name. She was like the basketball coach.
She had a big booty.
Nah, it wasn't Miss Denton. But anyways, yeah, so she was a basketball coach, kind of like Butch or whatever. So anyways, she came. I remember they were on their walkie-talkies vividly, like a bunch of them. Like,
Oh,
just,
yeah.
like,
they
3 or
act like
4
it
of
was
them.
like...
Yeah, it was like
crazy
weird,
shit.
like breaking in. So they came like, hey, like what are you guys doing? Like you don't have a pass? Like do you go here and all this? And then what hurt me is like they didn't even remember us. I'm like damn, like
you know what you're supposed to do?
800 people.
right? Yeah, I'm
You
like
know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to tell them you have to get your transcript.
yeah. So
Nah.
Right.
Here's what happened.
And so anyways, yeah, so like they didn't even like remember. So all right, cool, we thought y'all to show more love than that, but whatever, it is what it is.
We went in there, and first thing you do is, right when you go in the front doors, that's like the front desk area. So we go in there, and we're like, hey, we're here to visit a teacher. I think we said we needed a letter of recommendation or something. We came in there saying we had like a legitimate
That's right,
reason.
we did.
And the lady was like, oh, well, you've got to plan that ahead. And I was like, nah,
We did.
that's dumb. People don't do that. And then she's like, and this lady had like a bowl cut kind of, but it was like long and silver. But so she was like, nah, y'all can't do that. So I was like, the fuck we can't. So we started walking up the stairs, and then that's when the VPs came out of nowhere, crashing our parade.
That's when they all came in.
Freeze! I was like, hey, man, we're just trying to see this teacher. Man, they pulled us in. They tried to scare us.
That shit was hilarious. So that they pulled us in, took mugshots of us at a high school. Like, took pictures like, you
We're gonna arrest you guys for trespassing.
We're going to arrest you guys. You're going to stay in jail tonight for Thanksgiving,
Yeah, I told y'all that?
Yeah.
They go, if we can't find it, they go, we find a transport, you boys are going to jail.
Jail
And Steve goes,
He was like,
head fell in his hands. Jock and I are sitting there mad. I was like hell we are, And they go, all right, well, we took your pictures. So you guys are banned from Cy Falls or Cy Fair District properties and da 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 da. And then they walk us outside and they go, All right, now just walk that way.
It just keep walking. Don't look back. I was like, whoa, what kind of shit is this?
Yo, that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Funny part is I ended up going back like a year later. Jack, I think we both did.
both did.
Like,
Nothing
just
happened. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they completely forgot.
Yeah, of
we
course.
somehow
Yeah.
finessed it. Like I think we had a teacher actually call and set something up. But I was like, that's some bullshit, man.
Yeah, it was crazy, especially to be high school. You know,
Yeah,
come
that's
on,
fucking
man.
crazy, bro.
But you know, it was fun because that was like the day before Thanksgiving or something like that. I feel like the Wednesday, like the day before
The
Thanksgiving.
motherfuckers was still at school?
Everyone was,
Yeah.
I feel like everyone was on edge. That's the
Damn.
only reason why that shit even escalated.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
This was like 07. Everyone was proud to be
Yeah.
an American.
No, everybody's still like that, man.
Yeah.
We got into a
wild
lot
out
of
here.
shit that year, though. Remember when we got pulled over? We went to the
We were
haunted
speeding.
house. Remember the
He's like,
haunted
man, this is
house?
some bullshit.
Remember the haunted
Yeah,
house we
I
went
remember
to? I don't know if
my
it was
first
phobia,
speeding
but
ticket.
it was some haunted house we went
Scream World.
to. That's what it was.
Scream World, just go hard.
45.
45 and cross timbers.
Monster beverages.
Sabado.
I love the day before Thanksgiving though because I feel like everybody goes out.
Yo,
It's just like
straight up.
everybody.
That is like the best day to go out.
And it's a Wednesday. It's like
Yeah.
the only one of the few Wednesdays that's like everybody goes out. But you know, I feel like
Nah, Wednesday's lit.
Wednesday is the new Thursday.
Yeah?
Wednesday is the new Thursday.
Damn, put me on.
So Thursday kind of became the go-to, right? Thursday was like, you know,
As adults,
everybody.
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like the day before the weekend.
I'm
It's
not gonna
like
lie, that's when all the freaks be out on Thursday.
Thursday is like, you know, yeah, it's like people are like the people that are like they don't go out all the time. They just want to go out to actually be out and just chill. It's not like, oh, work was hard. I'm gonna go drink all night. It's just
Through the
like, you know
weekend.
what? I just like to go out. We're
Yeah.
going out. So I feel like that moved up to Wednesday now. Because everybody got hip to Thursday and they're like, oh, well now everybody goes out Thursday. Now it feels like Thursday took away from Friday traffic. Everybody's out on Thursdays. So now the original Thursday crowd that was ahead of the curve is now on the Wednesday.
And I
tip.
definitely agree, Mike. And also, just to kind of piggyback off of that too, or just add to it. Also, it depends on your age too, right? So
Yes.
sure.
the
Most
older,
definitely.
the older you actually get, you're more inclined to going out during the weekday versus like a weekend. Because like you said, it's more chill, it's calm. You actually can talk, and it's just. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like when it's super crowded. You know, because you can't really move around or like
Yeah.
function. So
I be
that's
catching
another.
walls anyway, so.
Yeah, that's another aspect of it too. So I definitely agree with you, bro, on that.
Well, I know for me, like the past shit, I would say, you know, like 10 years, I would say Wednesday's been like a night, like that's the night where like all like the drug dealers and shit just go out, you know, like because like you're either don't have like a Thursday class like type shit or like, you know, or early morning class on Thursday, so you got like an 11 o'clock, and so like a Vunt has always been like that night where, oh, okay, on Wednesdays, all right, at 11 o'clock, yo, let's hit a Vunt.
Right.
It's going down up there. You got all like the drug dealers, all the good looking girls, you know what I'm saying? They like
I
being
feel like you
there
have to
and
wait for the
shit.
poetry shit.
No, after the poetry shit.
yeah.
Remember that time we went at like
I
10
didn't know
o'clock?
what the hell I walked into.
And we was like, yo, what the fuck is this, like a
He's
Black
like-
Panther meeting or some shit like
Give it an
that?
hour.
We was like,
Something
yo.
like that.
Nah, but then afterwards, that hoe got lit, bro. That hoe got jumping. Was that the same night Jock met us?
I'm not gonna lie.
It probably was actually because I've been to Avant many times, many years. I'm like a veteran now for Avant. And you're right. You definitely gotta check out the poetry though. It is dope. This is like here like the spoken word.
That's cool, like if you're expecting it.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
Walk
We
into
did.
it,
We
you're
would.
like,
We
what
would
the
not expecting that shit.
Especially everybody's like staring at you and shit like, oh, who are these? You know.
What was cool was 2 weeks ago, me and my girl went at about 10:30. What we did was we went out to eat. Then 10:30 hit. I was like, cool, let's start heading over there. Poetry was kind of ending, so we got to see the end of it. Kind of drink a little bit in pregame, and then bam, right? As soon as 11,
Pregame.
Soon as 11 o'clock, all them niggas piled in, huh?
I already knew what it was. So I was like, hey, we're gonna come in here, we're gonna drink some sangria, chill, listen to some poetry, and then bam, 11 o'clock
shit.
hit. Next thing
It's
you know,
like,
we're
don't
vibing.
stop, get that boogie.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, Wednesdays being so hip to it, we end up finding and venturing out to so many other places.
Right.
Now we know about Bell Station.
Correct.
Which, if you want to get a completely different vibe, right, it's a little more chill, and then jump to
It's a little more
certain
older. A little more older vibe than how
You know
Avant
what?
is.
You know, it's a really old and good vibe to you guys' point. The flat. The flat is gonna be
Always.
like
That was
the
interesting
evening.
on a Wednesday. Remember, it was like a
Yeah,
Yeah,
regular.
they have
Yeah.
reggae nights. Yep,
Reggae
reggae
night,
nights.
For sure.
It still was the other
Yeah,
night.
we went that one night. Remember for reggae night? It was pretty cool.
Y'all went the other night? What the fuck?
Well, not the other night. I'll take that
Actually,
back.
this was like 5 months ago.
5 months ago. Yeah,
But it feels like it was the other night, man. This
Yeah.
year went by fast.
Yeah, it's time.
Just like that, Thanksgiving. Look, we were over here, 7 months ago?
Yeah.
Nah, you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
You remember?
Hell yeah.
You remember that shit. How about that? So, Turkey Day. Chance, you were talking about Turkey Leg Hut. That's right down the street from your spot.
So yeah, man, did
Educate
you guys
me.
hear about
You
this?
told me, but I don't know shit about it.
All right, so this like actually just popped up like a few days ago. So like this week, I guess earlier this week. So this lawsuit got filed against Turkey Leg Hut.
Really?
From a few neighbors of like the that live around there or whatever. They're suing them because of like smoke fucking toxicity or some shit in the air. It's like, what the fuck? First of all, here in Houston,
Smog is ridiculous.
first of all, in Houston, there is no zoning laws. So like, I can be in a neighborhood and I can build a slaughterhouse right next door to that shit. I can build a fucking power plant if I got the money to. You know what I'm saying?
Next to a strip club, next to a residence.
Exactly. Like there's no, that'd be lit. That'd be dope as fuck.
You know what we need to get? So I just driving up here, sad day. I saw that the Nightmare on the Bayou, the Party Boy, they're doing a liquidation sale.
A word? Damn, we have to.
We should buy this.
We
this
should just
spot.
buy that hoe. Hey, let's just do it.
Imagine having a big ass party. Sorry, go ahead.
Y'all gotta join our
Continue
Patreon. You're supposed to do that. Yeah. So like so what this comes down to is that's the deal. These few neighbors or whatever are getting together to sue the Turkey Leg Hut for the smoker. You know what I'm saying? Because they're saying it's toxic to the air or whatnot. All right, so I don't want to sound fucking like I'm on one side or the other, but this shit is when gentrification goes wrong. Because the Turkey Leg Hut is located in 3rd Ward. 3rd Ward is historically a black neighborhood. No matter, it's a huge fucking neighborhood, but it's historically black. There are a lot of white people that live in there to like where it's closer to the medical center on that side of Alameda where the Turkey Leg Hut is. And so like kind of transform that whole area. You know, it's mad different than it was fucking 5-6 years ago. Way different than it was 10 years ago. Like, it just keeps getting better and better. But at the same time, for businesses over there, which are mostly black businesses, it's getting worse and worse because these people are trying to move them out. And, like, it's just sad that, like, they have to go to, like, this, degree of, like, fuck shit to, like, fuck around on these people's business. Like, I know, like, Nakia, like, and her husband, they, like, own the, like, Turkey Leg Hut. Like, they're literally 3 years older than us. You know what I'm saying? They're not older than, like, 34, 35 type shit. Like, they have a good business there. Like, they have fucking lines
Y'all love that
wrapped
place.
the fucking street, man.
Me and Jock go, we'd be in a 45-minute wait.
You're in a 45-minute late
We don't even
night.
mind
So look,
because
this is
helping out a black
but it's not even just that. That place is good. It doesn't matter what it is. It's good fucking food.
regardless.
Like you go,
Why not
like
keep your money in
everyone fucking goes there.
And that's one thing too that I feel that we need to start putting our money in our community a little more, and so we're making shit like actually spread. And you don't have to actually just be black to like
it's
invest.
huge. That's what I was getting to. Like that place is huge. Not only black people go there.
Exactly right.
It's owned by a black person. It's in a black neighborhood that is being gentrified. Like that not being gentrified. It is gentrified now. You know, to like. And these people, they see that those lines are wrapped around the fucking corner. Mm-hmm. Those people, they have to park. There's not a lot of parking over there. So people have to park in the neighborhoods and shit like that and come and stand in line for 45 minutes, get their food, eat their food, and then leave. So, like, you got cars parking in front of your house or whatever for an hour and a half, Like, so that's where their gripe is coming from, I feel. It's like, damn, who are these people just parking in front of our house or in our neighborhood on our street and then walking, to so-and-so going to do this and going to do that. Like, I think that's what it is. And they see that most of those people are young, are black, or are, you know what I'm saying? Of like, just, they're not them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not parking on their street to come to their house or anything like that, and they're seeing it and they're like, oh, I'm not used to this. Well, yeah, motherfucker, you're not used to this shit because you just moved here, like that shit's been going on forever. Like, I just see that it's just fucked up, you know. But you're right, Jock. Like, we have to like start kind of putting our money into, you know, like really, we as a generation have to start buying houses
and land.
Yeah, like we have to like, because I mean, a lot of those people that move over there are transplants. They're people that aren't even from here. You know what I'm saying? So they think they can do that.
From California,
right?
On Easton.
They think they can do that. Where they do have zoning laws where it's like, oh, you shouldn't have like, you know, some business this close to a residence and blah blah blah. It's like, oh, it's different here, man.
Because it's cheaper as well. Cost of living out here.
I mean, that's just my gripe with that shit. I just don't like it. Like, because that's when gentrification goes bad. Like, it's all good and fine and dandy for us to be like unified, us to live in each other's neighborhoods. I don't care. I've done it for my entire life. You know what I'm saying?
Look at us. We're
like,
all diverse right here.
Oh, it's a huge diverse group. You know what I mean? But like, I mean, when you come and try to change things, that's fucked up. Yeah, especially if they've been like that forever. You know, and like you're just now getting there and you're changing just because it's something you're not used to. You know, like. But hopefully, man, that this lawsuit doesn't, you know, hopefully they get shut down, because I think it's a bunch of bullshit. They obviously think it's a bunch of bullshit. You know, what do you guys think? What do you think, Mike? Like, if someone, well, I know you live like in the burbs or whatnot, but like if someone came and like, you know, built, say if you did move over here, but there was something different about, you know, like the cityscape.
Well, there has to be something like that tied to it, because it seems like it's pretty lucrative. It's pretty successful. Mm-hmm. If it was just some little mom and pop, you know, deli, and it was in the middle of a huge development, or, you know, just like a little shopping center that appeals to, you know, younger crowd, or I would say younger crowd, even like any of us can go and enjoy, then I'm kind of in favor for something like that, right? Like, all right, cool.
For the lawsuit?
Oh, no, for gentrification.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, cool, that makes sense. If it's something that's already successful, it's a staple in the area and it's popular, and you're still somehow going against its existence, that's where it gets a little sticky to me.
Yeah, especially if it's there before you were, you know?
Yeah.
In a way, like, I mean, I don't know. It's just a lot of, it's a lot of like red tape tied to it or whatever. But I just think it's like real fucked up that like they got to go through that shit. They kind of have that like stain, you know, like tainted on them now, like. Because it's in the news. It's all over the news or whatever. And
can I tell you how I feel?
Sure. Hell yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you.
No.
Okay.
I was just griping.
Yeah, no, I got you. So I feel like anytime like you're a minority and you're like making big like splashes or big waves, like you said, it's several different turkey leg huts or different things they're actually doing, like the owner, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're big, people get wind of that they're not of the same like, you know, group or beliefs or whatever you may have it, and they would try anything in their power to shut you down. The media is very evil, first and foremost. They would paint a narrative to make you think one way when it's actually that's not the real thing. So my thing is, people, do your own research. Don't just blindly believe everything you see or hear in the media, and then you'll find out the truth to like a lot of stuff, you know. Media, don't be a follower. Like, you have to kind of like lead in a sense, you know. It's all
self-fulfilling. I always had this dynamic that was hard to deal with when I was working at the paper.
Oh, I love that paper.
Yeah. Shout out Sam Houston. Shout out Huntsville.
What's it called again?
The Houstonian.
Shout out. Hell yeah.
I used to write for it, and we may or may not have gotten free advertising anyway. Whenever I wrote for it, Houstonian. So, all right, now I almost lost track of that. Whenever I was writing for it, we did come across a couple situations where you're like, all right, we have the scoop, but is it worth putting out there? Because we would have the news, we'd have the info, but you realize, okay, if we put this out there, we could potentially burn bridges. We could really put people in an embarrassing light. We were good at what we did, so, you know, we dug up some dirt. And we always had that question of, okay, is this newsworthy enough that people have to know? Or is this going to have so much destruction that it's not worth putting out? Mm-hmm. A lot of time we erred on that side of not putting the news out. And I think it's a lot of the time what happens with the media is you have to look at your business interests, and you have to choose, okay, I'm not going to roast them or I am going to roast them. I mean, think about certain football teams. Their star players get no flack. Carson Wentz. I'm not saying he's good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's bad. But anytime he makes a mistake, you never hear anybody talk ill of him. It's almost like it's against the rules to talk ill of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Howie Roseman, he's in with all the media. So, of course, all the stories about him that come out are going to be, oh, all the excuses and everything else is going. The fault is everybody else but his own. Mm-hmm. And you would see that with Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson was so close with the media. He was an awful coach, but nobody ever criticized him because he was in with all the media.
Right.
So it's this dynamic where, you know, your business interest at some point kind of supersede the ethics of it all when it really shouldn't. So that's kind of my thing on it all.
So yeah, it's many variables to it. I guess I didn't think about the other side of it too.
And that's the thing. It's not even saying that, oh, because business is here, that should take precedence, because more often than not it shouldn't. You know,
Right.
the question of morality is something that people just kind of brush off, but it's, you know, is this something, do we owe this to the people to let them know what's going on? But the news in general is always, that's why
They're just looking for a scoop.
I just consume pieces of it.
Right.
All I look at is really pop culture. That's all I
Right.
really care about.
Well, I mean, we can end it with this too. Like what we were saying about the media is, I actually saw the story today on ABC 13 or whatever, and all of the like establishing shots that they were like showing while they, you know, like read the story or whatever, was like you could see like smoky shit. You know, it was like close-ups on like the smoker, and like they were just like, it was just like a close-up on like the smoke rising from it. So it was like they were trying to paint the narrative that, okay, well, here's the smoke, you see it, you know what I mean? But if you go by there,
You don't notice anything.
you don't notice anything. If you're there, you do not notice a fucking thing. Like, there's no smoke, like, no nothing. Like, it's just crazy how
You have to sell. Well, that's the thing. A lot of times
they have to sell the story.
and it's a lot of time like back in school when you had to write essays. You know, you're basically finding your argument, your hypothesis, and it's a bias where you start looking for supporting evidence towards your hypothesis. This is what I believe, so I'm going to seek out information that proves I'm right. It's just it's a natural bias that we have. You have to be cognizant of that, because when you're going in trying to evaluate something, you have to try and cut that voice out.
I mean, we see it all the time in fucking political news with fucking, like, how Fox News, like, narrates shit.
Hilarious.
To then, like, how CNN or, like, MSNBC would. You know what I'm saying?
It's completely different.
It is totally different. Like, literally, like, I was watching the shit. We're not going to get into this at all. But I was watching the fucking impeachment inquiries and shit today. Or not today, but, like, this week. And, like, on Twitter, like, how some, like say, like, Breitbart or Fox News, they would literally take a piece of, like, what someone said and be like, they said it was no quid pro quo or whatever, when if you actually watch the entire shit, the guy's like, yeah, so, like, was there a quid pro quo? Like, he asks this to himself in his opening statement. He's like, yes, there is a quid pro quo. But they go, like, you know, it's just like they try to fucking craft that narrative to, like, where it's like, all right, world, what do our, like, you know, viewers or our listeners, like, what do they want to hear?
Because you know, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think the thing that we're in a world where people they're lazy. People don't want to look at nuance. They don't want to invest time in trying to figure out gray
Shit for
areas.
themselves.
It's just got to be black and white. It's what is black? What is white? And I'm not saying black and white is in race. I'm talking about
I
it's
understand.
left or right. It's this or that. It's
Right.
one or the other. It's nothing in between. That's stupid. That's dumb.
Yeah. I
agree.
I exist. I thrive in the gray area
Me
because
too.
look, product of divorce. I've been in the middle of a lot of things. I've seen two perspectives on a lot of things. I know that there's always three sides of every story. My side, your side,
What
and
really
the truth.
happened. Yeah, exactly.
You know? And even if it's an opinion-based thing, you realize that there's got to be something in the middle, and it's all about compromise. Thing is,
And nobody
wants
cares about the
compromise
truth
anymore.
unless the lie, if the lie's more entertaining.
That is true. Meth, I'm on it.
Yo, hey, me too.
Gary, have you heard of that shit?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've seen a couple of posts, but
It's fucking hilarious.
So it's like they put on their people, normal people, and just says meth, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Why? Is it like really bad out there in Montana or something? Like, is it like an
Obviously.
epidemic?
Yeah, it's like, I guess so. Okay, so the story is, in a nutshell, the governor has worked with like an ad agency or whatnot to like, have like a just say no type deal, to combat drugs or whatever, like an ad campaign or whatever. And this ad campaign, they came up with the phrase meth. We're on it. Like, that's it. Like,
It's supposed to be double entendre. Like, we're on the issue.
we're on the issue. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. But it just sounds like meth. We're on meth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's fucking
Shit,
hilarious.
me too. Okay, like, let's do it, right?
So it
almost
actually
kinda seems
it
like at
works for
first-
both. Like, y'all remember how like big the Dare shirts were in like high school and shit like that? It's like, oh, we all smoke weed and shit, but like, we're wearing Dare shirts. Like, oh, we're anti.
Ironic.
Like, it's just like ironic. Like,
So people having methed out teeth wearing the
Sounds like
meth we're on the
oxymoron,
shirt.
dude.
yeah, it is. Like, but it's just so funny that like they chose that statement.
People are trying to clown on him, but she was like, "Well, people are talking about it, so
And that's
success." It's like,
It's successful. No, that's true. That's like very true. It's actually a perfect
What's-
ad campaign.
What's with all these random like chemistry teachers across the country that are just like trying to do meth now? Like,
Dude.
not do it, but like do the Walter
Like
White thing.
make meth fucking Walter White, dude.
Yeah.
What
Too
are
much. You
you
binging Breaking
So-
Bad every day.
I saw most recently this happened in Arkansas, but it's happened plenty of places before. I feel like it's at least once a month. Mugshot, and they look all the same. It's like a chubby, like slightly overweight white guy, disheveled hair or no hair, and just like looks like somebody that would probably,
Dibble
try
and
to
dabble in meth.
try to make some meth. Somebody probably eats a lot of like chili cheese dogs,
Yeah.
just in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, just a weird observation I had.
But like, yeah, there are a bunch of like chemistry teachers and shit, like, right?
Everywhere. It's just like, oh, I'm going to be Walter White now. It's like, I don't think it's really all that easy.
It's not. But if you're trying to be in the empire business,
Well, everybody's all struggling now, trying to make money. It's not like we can just hop on like, dude looking and probably smelling like chili cheese dogs can't hop on an OnlyFans account.
yo, okay, the real talk. Let me ask you guys: do you guys believe in the pay wage gap?
So can you explain a little bit
I
more?
mean, I feel like there is. And I
Okay,
feel
well,
like
in
it's-
your line of work, do you think that there's a pay wage
Well,
gap?
actually, I can speak to my profession, my people, because I manage people.
Right.
I have a pretty much all say in like salaries. It's all the same. Like at least where I'm at.
Okay, and
Our
you're in the
roles,
corporate world.
It's the exact same. Now that's
Okay.
not universal for everywhere. It's a
Right.
private company, but it's all the same. I mean, it's not like, oh well, you're a male, so you're gonna get a couple thousand more.
What about you guys? You guys actually work together, and you work for $1 trillion company. Do you guys like are the women there getting paid about the same?
So I'll take it over first, Gerry. I'll be quick. So as far as the actual women are getting paid the same, yes, they are.
Okay.
The company that we actually work for, they are open to everybody. That's why I love it, because they're not really painting a narrative or like, hey, it's because you're a male or female, we're going to pay you less. No, they pay.
You can
some
lift more.
women probably actually get paid more than some of the males that the company we work for,
All right.
By not doing anything shady, of course, just by working hard and like, using their knowledge and everything.
Well,
So yeah, that's my take on it.
Speaking of doing something shady, well, the reason why I asked you guys that is because of doing something shady. I don't believe I don't work or anything like that right at the moment, but I see that there are plenty of ways that these women get money out here, bro, and they can get it to where it's like we can't get it.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm talking about like fucking OnlyFans and motherfucking like traditional porn. Obviously, they get paid more. And like, like those premium snaps and shit like that. Like, they can make money off that. They could just put their Cash App literally in the fucking like in their profile bio shit and make money. Like, guys will send them shit like
Jock,
that.
didn't you used to do the feet OnlyFans thing?
jokes. No, but yeah,
Put
to
lotion on your feet. Didn't
on
you
my
have
feet.
that?
Yeah, man, I had an OnlyFans account at one point where I put like lotion, Vaseline, baby oil,
Just
hot
for
sauce,
feats.
whatever, you know.
Just for
Nah, but seriously, you're right, Chance. I definitely agree with what you're saying. And the crazy part about that is,
dude, we can't make money like that.
right? I don't know how it actually works, of course, but I heard from people
We're
that
gonna get added for sure.
that actually work with and
Yo,
stuff.
y'all
okay,
can
yeah.
at me about this shit, please.
But, so what I heard, I don't know if this is true or not. You guys can like research it yourself. But what I heard that with these OnlyFans accounts, and you said premium or something like that, right?
Premium snaps,
yeah,
shit like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. That it's literally pictures that they're actually taking, and they charge you like $50 a month or some shit, just for like pictures and videos of just like them being naked, I guess, or whatever, which is fucking. That makes me
win
so.
for them.
That's a win, but that makes me so mad because that's so
I
lazy.
can't just take a picture of my dick and just be like, "Hey, $50, yo." You know what I'm saying?
But
You
it
get
makes-
like 4 of them.
Yeah, it makes me so mad because like that's just lazy to me. It's like I understand, like
Lazy.
yeah, it's like you
It
just
is.
literally rolling out of bed, and like due to the
They
city.
don't have to leave the room.
Man, I would do that shit.
God,
for
I
sure.
would do the fuck out of that shit, yo.
Guys.
Y'all let me know if y'all pay for it, yo.
You
I
know,
got y'all,
like,
son.
finger on the chin, like
Yeah.
leg up, kind of thing.
Yeah, but to my point, yeah, guys, you got to stop being so like gullible, man.
Yeah,
and, like
please, stop paying
have
them.
stronger willpower. Don't do that shit. You just empower them to do it even more.
Like, stop. I hate this era now,
Gassing.
But then
It's
again,
the gassing
one thing
era.
I would say, this is all about power of the P, like power of the pussy. It can control men to a point where you're willing to pay for Patreon.
What is that? Why is that?
Premiums for this and that. It's just
I did a 360 in my seat, or 180 or 90. I don't know.
Why is
Why?
it?
Why? So
Your
let's
dick
let's
gets
try
hard,
to
man. Fucking, the blood runs
So
from
what?
your brain
the art of attraction.
to the
look
fucking...
how like relative to your body, how that ain't like 30% of your being. My question is why? Why does sex control us?
because
Let's try to
I
figure
don't
it out.
know.
No, because guys-
let's break it down. I don't know.
Let's try to figure it
yeah,
out.
here's my take on it. Because guys are fucking stupid. Like, here's my thing. Like we're very like caveman. Like meant to reproduce on this earth and things like that. So when it comes to like sexual things coming up, I feel like it actually it's hard for some dudes to have like the willpower to say no.
Hard.
Yeah, it's hard to have. You're stupid, but it's hard for some of the guys to have like the willpower to say no and just turn back. We gotta really take our fucking like
Dudes
our
do not
confidence
say no,
back,
bro.
man.
Dudes do not say no.
They're not, and you're right about that.
Yo,
They're not
but
unless
females don't either, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I've been in like situations, bro, where like I've
Here's
been like,
my-
"Yo, what's
here's my
up?"
thought
And it's
on
like,
it.
"Oh, okay, what's up?" You know?
It's
I
crazy.
think, men, we are very like logic driven when it comes to problem solving.
Right.
It's like very like analytical, this, that, and the other. We talked about that gray area. I feel like women actually thrive in that a little bit better than men do most of the time. And I feel like nowadays, more often than not, it's the man that needs to define things, whereas the women are fine with kind of keeping it where it is,
Oh yeah, for sure.
And definitely, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Like, we live in some different times. It's kind of like roles are being reversed, in a sense, which
I like it that way.
Which is crazy, you know what I mean? Because it's like back in the day, it wasn't really like that. But once again, we live in a new times, new generation.
Well, that's where it comes back, like Gerry said, the power of the P.
Yeah.
Because that's what cracks men and gets us to start being emotionally driven.
Right.
And that's where you stop getting out of your muscle memory, you stop getting out of your critical thinking skills, and you start acting emotionally. And you do things that are out of character, and that's when you might do some of those cries for help that we were talking about a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Where you do like, you'll see some people will put the lyrics out there that that there's actually a purpose for that. I feel like most of the time there's not.
Right.
But if you're going to post lyrics, there's probably going to be a purpose to at least one time you put lyrics out.
Oh, for shit.
You know?
I mean, I've been there, and being a lyric poster type nigga that like does it for no reason, I have been the one that has like put them out there, and it's kind of
Trying to
been
get
for a
reaction.
reason.
Why do we do that? So let's try to define
Dude,
that.
like I don't know, man. I think they have literally reversed the roles on us, and we're like
So-
super gullible.
Why do we, feel
We
the
simp
tendency-
over them
Why do we simp?
because, for example,
because they
like,
got the
it-
pussy,
it-
bro.
Yeah, but if it, like,
They got the cheeks.
But there's a ton out there.
and
Why do we
sometimes
get
when you
so
get-
caught up with like the current one?
It's like
Because-
also laziness, because they say like it's not tricking if
If you
it
got it.
ain't tricking if you got it. So with that being said, it's like nowadays if you have the bread, instead of investing all this time and going on dates, doing this, doing that,
Bird in the hand.
you'd rather be like, oh, okay, I'll just spend $15 for the subscription on these pictures,
Yeah.
so on and so forth.
And like, what's crazy is like
Convenience.
they will fucking gas you up without even seeing you type shit. Like, on the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Gassing
like,
works.
First of all, we gotta stop gassing as men, period. All right?
Yeah.
So it don't matter how bad they are, whatever. Yo, shoot them the like.
If we gotta stop gassing, we also have to be better about not getting gassed. Like, when we get gassed, we gotta know, like, oh, this is a ploy.
Right.
Don't let that shit get to your head.
No,
'Cause we've all been victim of that. We're like, ooh, I'm the best. I'm the greatest. And then once that stops, that's when we start sipping.
No,
because
but
we have a literal, like, it's like we're having a withdrawal
Yeah.
from the gassing. Our heads get blown up.
But when you get gassed by like a bad one, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, why?
Like no other.
Like what? Like wait, huh? Like
Man, your shit don't
this
stink
for real?
when that happens.
Like for
Your
real,
shit
bro.
don't
I want
stink.
to whoop everyone's ass and shit like that when I get gassed up by like a bad one, bro. It's like okay, like just to like show them.
Even if you just have like an interaction with like an attractive woman, you know, even with no intention. You know,
None at
let's
all.
say they throw
You're
a
just
smile
talking.
at you. They throw a smile at you. You might smile back. It makes you feel good, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I've always said, and this is going to sound bad, but I feel like you can be happily in a happy relationship.
With yourself.
And still kind of, like, root for an attractive girl's relationship to fail. You know, like, even though you know you're not going to do anything stupid, it's not attainable, even realistic, you're not even intending to try anything. But it's always like, just like the what if, you know, like worst case scenario, 1 in a million, things don't work out. It's like, well, I know somebody that might be available now.
Hey, I mean, like, I think that
That used to be my past philosophy, long time ago. Long time ago.
long time ago. I mean, I just think that like everything with like social, with just how technology like drives our relationships and shit like that. I mean, like I posted this shit on Twitter today. It was a GIF shit from Napoleon Dynamite. Well, it was like Kip. He was talking to us like, oh, we've been talking for like 2 years now, so things are getting pretty serious.
Yeah.
That's literally how people like talk now. Like they'll talk online for like a certain amount of time, and they think this shit is serious. I mean, that's how people get catfish and shit out here.
So here's a question.
Yes, sir.
I'm like the questioner today. I feel like, do we all have like a certain type of women that we attract?
Oh, mine is news lady chic. I always get
No.
that
Attracts, that like they're attracted to you.
white girls.
White girls? Yeah, true. I mean, we've seen that. Yeah.
So
White
me,
girls
I'm
love
not
you,
gonna
bro.
say a certain race,
But they're like
but
you more often than
I
not.
feel like I attract more introverted type people.
I say hipsters chicks if I don't have to put it in race.
Right, which is like interesting to me because like I guess I'm both. I'm ambivert, or however you say the word. I'm both introvert and extroverted. It
What are you
depends.
telling us, Jock? You both what?
Extrovert,
You
introvert.
Frank Ocean ass nigga.
Yeah, so like I always get women that are like just they're quiet when they're in other like
I
settings, but when it's me, they talk a lot when they're around me and everything. You know?
So here,
So
it's
it's
just
just
gonna
like
get
they
everybody
just vibe
involved.
with you.
Yeah, yeah.
What about
So-
you, Gary? What about you, real quick?
Probably Latinos.
They always go to
Yeah,
Gary. Lying.
yeah, Gary's
I was
not
gonna say
lying.
that.
Gary's
He
not
always go
lying
to
at
Gary.
all.
Mine seem to vary. I don't know. Mine seem to vary. I have a lot of like common
I feel like
names.
I'm not saying this about you, and I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I
You're
feel like
not.
the ones they see you and they be like, this guy's successful. I don't know why, but I feel like the ones that are like be like, okay, I'll see them peeping you. I feel like they got that gold digger kind of like,
Yeah.
you know what I
I can see
mean? Like
that.
I don't know why.
You know, I
but-
feel like because I'm kind of I'm shorter, maybe unassuming. I kind of fly under the radar. Like I don't think I'm immediately noticed. But a lot of time it takes like that initial in. Like it's almost like that dude that you think like, man, he can't shoot, and then you feed him the ball and he knocks down like 3 threes in a row. He's doing that, the 3 bow and arrow shit, do all the 3 dances, you know, the dice with the threes on the head.
Yeah.
Like, man, this motherfucker can shoot. Hey, I didn't realize that. That's the ones. And then they're like, you know,
The white man
GMs
can't
that
jump
just want me
shit.
on their team. Long time ago.
long time ago.
You said you've had like another trend lately.
Oh, yo, big girls, yo, big girls gotta stop trying to pull me, man. Like for real. First of all, we were just talking about this shit in the group chat today. It's weird that this even came up, but like I weigh 160 pounds, maybe 165 on a good day, like type shit. Weighing 165 and these tricks should die. Be jealous of a brother when he ride. Like I always, yo, so like that's as big as I get, like straight up, like naturally. But like, yo, for some reason, it be girls like upwards of like
2 1/4.
Like, yeah, like, you know, they be really trying to, like, holler. Like, I'm not lying. 2 1/4 for real. No,
YG
like, my
400.
limit, I'm not gonna lie, bro. My limit is really my weight. Like, I can't bench more than motherfucking, like, I weigh, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, all I got for you, if you, like, you know what I'm saying? If you, like, 180 and up, is the grounding pound. You know what I'm saying? So, like, put it in UFC terms. You know what I'm saying? Just straight ground game for you. You know? Like, I ain't no lifting you up. Ain't no none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gonna have to, you know, like, just lay there and chill. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not
Is
trying
that
to
the
work
slogan?
extra hard.
Lay
Do
there
y'all
and
have a limit? Do y'all have like a limit?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. Me personally, and I'm past
Do you have like a
stuff,
height to weight ratio?
so past stuff,
I
of course.
can't have any kind of ratio because I'm a little person.
Me, I do not
You
get
just out here.
I'm short, man. Like, I'm cutting out like
Right.
90% of the world if I say, I can't date anybody taller.
That's what women do though.
I didn't succeed in doing that because I ended up marrying somebody taller, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You did. She can dunk on your ass too.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, me personally, I don't have a limit, man. It all goes back to D. Remember D. Paul?
Yeah.
So, damn, I said her name.
It's like 7 foot,
Shit, I apologize. Yeah.
7'4".
So yeah, she was tall.
I
as shit.
remember her. Yeah, I do remember
She was
her.
taller than a bitch, like almost your damn height, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy, but like, I didn't mind it. And she's always like try to sun me all the time by putting her arm around me, like,
No,
hey.
no. But like she was like
Knuckle
tall and like
sandwich.
like
She was a model.
skinny,
Right,
like a
model,
model,
right,
like you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like I love tall girls. Don't get me wrong. Like the last girl I was messing with, she's like 5'10". You know what I'm saying? Like have tall people like all in my family and type shit like that. My last girlfriend was like 5'7" or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I've always like tall girls. I can deal with any type of height, but there is a certain ratio with me personally. You know what I'm saying? It's just that like, yo, I don't know. It's really weight, bro. Because I like to, you know what I'm saying? I like to get my, you know, position on, you know, change position, new position. I like to, you know what I'm saying? I like to
do that
lift you
frog
up.
jump.
I like to fuck you
Ving
funny style.
Rhames.
Ving Rhames your ass. You know what I'm saying?
So
For
hey,
real.
actually, I got something to say. To answer your question, Chan. So I guess my ratio would be anywhere from like 115 to about like 300.
That's a big
That's
range.
a range.
That's a huge
That's a
range,
range,
bro.
No hate
No hate.
at all. But hey, that's that's just kind of like you might as well just not have even.
Bro, I'm
had
not gonna lie. I
range.
would say like the biggest girl
like she's
I've ever
302.
hit.
Jock's like, nah.
Yeah, she gave me 302 or 305.
I'm not gonna
Big
lie.
pokey 303. Yo, no.
Make her sit in the sauna for about 15 minutes.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Like
That sounds good.
I was.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
I'm not gonna lie. Like the biggest I've ever really like knocked down, she was probably like 210. But like it was like some like I didn't try to pull her. Like it was just like my cousin was in a place
She was
that
your cousin?
no. My cousin was hitting his like girlfriend or whatever. Like we went to like South Park, some shit like that, and this girl was just there. And like we heard them in the room, and she was just like, "So what's up?" And I was just like, all right, whatever." You know what I'm saying? And like she was probably like 210. You know what I'm saying? But like I ain't have to work out. But I feel like some of these girls, they want your ass to work out. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like what the fuck, man? Like nah. And they see me. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see.
That's why you see those dudes nowadays at the gym that be recording their workouts and shit.
Yeah. Like the squats and shit. Like nigga, what the fuck you doing squats for, bro? Because you gotta pick them big.
You know what my
up.
favorite like societal taboo thing is like when you see people doing videos of themselves vaping.
Oh my
And
God.
you know who does it a lot too, are like
Gerry.
the attractive. Yeah, it's Gary's Captain America shield is the vape. But you see like a lot of like the attractive like social media models will do it. Like why do they think okay, look, everything they do has to be sexy, right? Like that's their brand. It's like sexy. And then they're like showing themselves blowing like these big vapes. That's not sexy. Like it's not gross, but it's not like oh man, she's
like,
fine.
oh, boy, oh,
She's
oh,
sucking
oh.
on that vape, like ooh. And the funny thing is, they always have such proper posture. Jock, you and I
Because they
used
try
to
to
laugh.
stick that ass out still and shit. Like,
Well, I'm talking about Jock. You and I have seen a certain somebody on their stories hitting the vape, just looking like the fucking Green Ranger playing the flute, busting out the droids.
Yeah.
Busting out the big Megazord.
For
like
sure.
that shit's not sexy.
Yeah, and my thing is, I don't know if they're actually. I think they have to know it's not fucking sexy, bro. Like they have to. I think at this point they're doing it for like.
I know
value,
I'm gonna be like in the. I'm gonna have like the. Y'all ain't gonna agree with me on this, but me, I actually personally think that smoking is sexy for some women.
Cigarettes.
You know what I'm saying? Well, it depends because some women looking like smoking cigarettes. You like, yeah, it's nasty. Like you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying like
scratching their bellies.
It just like depends on. I don't. It really depends. Like sexiness really depends on how you carry yourself. Cause like it could be you can have one of them 210 bitches I was just talking about, man. That could be sexy. You know what I'm saying?
We talk.
Y'all
talk
think
about
Lizzo
this
is sexy?
all the time?
Nope. I'm not gonna lie,
don't
bro.
like her.
Fuck
She
Lizzo, bro.
Too
She from
much.
the age too. It's too much though, bro. And she's an
much.
industry plant. She's an industry plant for shit show.
That's a good phrase. I have a lot of like issues with like actors and actresses that I feel
That
like
are always
are
in the same
plants.
fucking movies.
Same role.
Yeah.
You know, like Jonah Hill for the longest, or like Melissa McCarthy. It's like they're exploiting themselves.
Well, it's the studios really exploiting
They
them.
get typecast.
They get
you know.
typecast.
But at the same time, like you see Jonah
Like
Hill break
Tyrese.
from it. The crybaby.
Tyrese is the one.
He cries at all his movies, man.
Yeah, he does. Yo,
Always
you know what was a
cried.
good low key Tyrese like movie? It was like good, but it was like low key, like nobody went to go see it. Waist Deep.
Yeah.
Waist Deep was live. He's like, you got my
Wasn't the
son.
game's name Big Meat?
Big Meat. Yeah, Big Meat.
Making good, Lorenz Tate. Yeah, that was a good movie actually.
Yeah, Lamar Tate. Not Lorenz, it was Lamar Tate.
Oh,
His brother.
That's right. It was
Yeah.
his brother.
Why is the game always trying so hard to make himself seem like street, thug,
That's a
strong?
good question.
I don't know. Have you seen his new album cover?
It's got like 68 songs on it.
Yeah, it got a shitload of songs, but on the cover, it's like it's called Born to Rap, right? But it's like him in the studio, and then it's like maybe like 12 fucking like pregnant women, and they're all doing different shit, like pulling up, rolling weed on their bellies and shit, like they're like real pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That shit's hilarious.
but you know what's funny? I remember him putting this shit out on Twitter. It was like, "Yo, if you pregnant in LA, hit me up," or some shit like that. So like, whoever hit him up, you know what I'm saying?
they
They on the album cover. Bro, it's so crazy. Like that's why Twitter's still the GOAT. And I know we always talk about how like Twitter's the GOAT and shit. Yo, you could if you want to do some shit, look it up on Twitter, bro. You can
Love
find
Twitter.
it.
You'll find pictures on there.
You'll find it. That's how I found the code to fucking Jesus is King. Speaking of Jesus is King, dude,
Jacquees, you win. You didn't
how
really
the
get
fuck
much-
was that?
Yeah, we didn't get.
Let
We
me
didn't
let
get
you
in.
know about my experience. It's a fucking story.
all right, brother.
All right. So first and foremost, my girl ended up winning us tickets or getting tickets like randomly and surprising me, which was fucking dope. Shout out to you. Not gonna say any names, you know.
Even though you did last.
Yeah, I did last
Yeah.
time. I don't want to, put people out there like that. But anyway, so I get there. Parking is fucking crazy. First, all these cars everywhere, cops everywhere, helicopters. I'm like, fuck, this shit's crazy. So I'm like, where the fuck am I parking? I'm not trying to pay $50 to park.
$40.
Fuck that, yeah. So I found a Starbucks. You know, I hit my girl up. Hey, where'd you park at?
The one right next door.
Yeah, she's like, where'd you park at?
I don't know if I would have parked there.
Yeah. She's like, I parked at Starbucks, but I just went inside and I grabbed something and ran back out. And I was like, well, how'd they know, babe? But anyway, it's another story. So I parked there too. When I got out, bro, I immediately ran to people that I knew, like coming out of Starbucks, which was fucking random. Like, oh, what's up, bro? What's good? So I asked some questions like, hey, like, am I good to park here? They're like, yeah, like, as long as you come before 10 o'clock, like, you're good. And they tow after that. So I'm all right, bet. So I park in my car. I get out. I start walking. And, bro, when I tell you, I never seen this many people in one fucking area of all races, all colors, all ages. You had ages like newborns damn near probably to like 80. I saw this cool little swaggy Asian couple. They look Japanese or some shit. Just it was everything that I didn't even know. Like, I know we stay in Houston, which is the number one.
On?
Yeah, bro, they were swaggy, bro. Had the little shades on, like little leather jackets. I'm like, dang, okay, like this shit's like cool.
Them old school warm ups.
Yeah, and so like how it was actually, it was two lines, right? It was a line for the actual members, and they had wristbands, and it was general admission. So it took me literally 20 to 25 minutes to walk back to the general admission line. It was that many people, bro. Just like a sea of people just in one line, you know. And I'm like, this shit's crazy. But it also made me a little nervous because it's like a lot of people in one spot. Some shit can happen, right? You know,
Right.
people are stupid.
Right.
So I ended up walking back there, found my girlfriend finally. So hop in line, we chilling. I've seen people walk back, and the line finally started actually moving. And this shit is funny right here too. So it tells you this what I'm about to actually like tell you guys. Let you know people actually went there for the wrong reasons. So we're walking and stuff.
We knew that.
Yeah, right. But it just confirms, you know. So we're walking, and this little Latina girl with braces, I think she had to be like 17, 18, comes to me and like grabs me. And I'm like, ooh, she grabs me, my arm.
What?
Yeah, so I'm just like, what's up? She's like,
What's up, shawty?
No, I was like, yeah, like, what's going on pretty much? And she was like, well, we see that you actually cutting everybody. She's like, we see that you're actually cutting everybody, and that's not right, so you need to get to the back of the line, like, way back there. And I was like, I laughed for a second, like, who the fuck is this little girl talking to? You know, like, thinking to myself, and I was like, excuse me? And she's like, yeah, you need to get to the back of the line, because that's not cool. And I was like, well, first of all, don't touch me. You know what I mean? That's your first mistake. Don't ever grab a random person you don't know.
First mistake.
Yeah, seriously, no, that's just life lesson.
for
Don't
real.
grab anybody like that.
Yeah,
Second of all, I'm not walking anywhere. I'm gonna stay my ass right here, so I don't know what to tell you. Like, sorry that you
I've
wasn't
been in this line,
that you
bitch.
wasn't paying attention, you know. And then she went on, you know what, fuck you, don't touch me, you ain't shit, and started going off and all that. And then my girl grabbed me like, babe, because she knows how I am. Babe, don't say anything, just turn around, just don't worry about
Hey,
her.
we here for Jesus.
Right, and so I'm thinking
And
like,
Jesus.
this little girl,
How can he not be the greatest?
right, this little girl had the audacity to say what she said on church grounds, you know, and I'm like, that's
Right.
just, you know, and we're all going to
Even
the
though
same.
this used to be the summit.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're all going to
Have a
the,
Whataburger in there?
Hell yeah.
I'm like, we're all going to,
Contact center.
yeah, we're all going, yeah, my point. Yeah, so like, we're all going to,
Talk, baby.
we're all going to the same spot, right? So I'm thinking like, it's no rush. I know that there's no assigned seating, but bro, this church is massive. It's my first time inside this church, by the way, and this shit's huge. So when we get inside, shit's dope. A lot of people, like, this shit's full, like, to capacity, right?
Right.
And Kanye, he came out a little late, you know, as expected, like 30 minutes.
CPT
Yeah,
time.
30 to 40 minutes. And you know,
What? Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
I
so we-
smack that nigga.
right.
back,
So,
dude.
you know, it's all good, though. It happens. Take the gift, the bad. Free
You saw
ticket.
Kim?
I did see Kim, and I saw all the
Saw
kids.
North?
I saw all
You
the
know, I
kids.
have a manager from work. I mean, he didn't listen to Kanye at all. Him and his wife met Kim and Kanye.
What?
They just happened to be there, like whatever hotel they were the night before, at some big party. It was like, oh, hello, Kanye, I believe, right? Yeah, it was Kanye. What you talking about?
So yeah, so we got inside. I'm like, all right. I'm still a little like upset behind what happened. Like, you know, that little girl's young, and I'm worried about that. So
Should have slapped that bitch.
yeah, so I'm just chilling and stuff. My girl's right there, and some white dude came out like, oh, you know, sorry guys, we're a little late, but you guys ready to have a good time? And I'm like, yeah, everybody, yeah.
Joel Osteen?
No, it was some other dude. Not Joe, other dude. Yeah, he had blonde hair.
guys.
Yeah, he had blonde hair.
God,
And so anyways, the dude came back out within 10 minutes and was like, all right, we're ready. And did his little spiel. And it was dope the way he did it. He was like, welcome to Kanye West Sunday service. And everybody just went crazy.
It was like, shake the game.
Yeah, and then
Medicine.
the choir came out dressed in all black. Who, you know, just come out singing and stuff. And like immediately, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little emotional. I'm not gonna lie.
What they
Like
do
up is that serotonin we were talking about.
immediately, yeah, I started kind of tearing up a little bit. I'm like, why am I fucking like
You
getting
in front of the
emotional right
goat,
now?
fool?
Not even that. Like Kanye wasn't even doing much. It was a
Yeah,
choir
he
mainly.
just sits there and like
Right.
bobs his head.
It was a choir mainly. I'm like, why am I know why personally I felt that way because it's been so long since I've been to
Been to
actually
church?
church.
Yeah.
And then hearing like
Church
those
does
old
that shit, man. That's
Dude.
the serotonin, man.
Yeah.
That's why people follow churches. That's a
Dude.
big reason why.
Like,
Because
I haven't been in church in a long time. I'm sorry to cut
we
you
should
guys
all
off.
go.
Yeah.
I haven't been in church in like a long time, but when I went to my brother's funeral, like it wasn't even his like being at my brother's funeral. It was walking in that church, bro, and that shit just like broke me down.
The
Like, you know
heaviness
what I'm
of
saying? It was just like, yo, I can't even sit in here no more. You
Well,
know?
it's kind of like for me, I've always liked the national anthem. Always. I've never understood, you know, some of the like
what was
the.
that book about the kid that had to sing the national anthem, but he like
Yeah,
fucked it up?
It was no, he hummed, and it had like the author had like a really weird name, like Airy something or something. Like that.
It was a book. It was like he didn't even know.
He
Like at the end of the
hummed?
book,
Yeah,
he didn't know the national anthem, but it was like he was like
He hummed it, and they were like, "Don't hum it," something like that. But anyway, like I've always loved it. To me, it's always been like a cherished thing. Like the Super Bowl,
Right.
when they show the pro athletes and they're just crying and shit,
Right.
You know, just feeling it. That always got
And
me
those
hyped
planes
up.
and shit fly over.
Yeah, man, like that makes me feel like, dude, you're on the grandest stage.
Yeah.
Period. That's why I've always loved the anthem. You know, all the other stuff outside of that, but it's that serotonin effect. You know, and I got an idea. I got a topic. Once you finish your point, I'll let you finish your point. But I got something that's gonna bring everything back to where we
Yeah,
started.
give us the highlights, man. Like outside of the shit you got into, it sounds like you got into a lot of shit before the shit even started.
Yeah, so like I was saying, so that happened. He came out, started getting like emotional, and like, man, my eyes are tearing up. But let me not let my girl see this and everybody else. So I kind of started looking down a little bit, and then he was just doing so many remixes like SWV, So Weak. And it's the way he was doing it. Yeah, he did So
that?
Weak. Yeah,
What else he
flipped? So Weak. He did some of his original songs. What other song? I think Fred Hammond did a song like from him, like remix. So it was multiple songs that he did that were just remix. It was too many to name from honest, because I was just so like, man, this is like, it was a really good feeling I felt, and I always want to feel that.
Any videos?
No videos.
And
bro.
that's a good thing though. We talked about that with Gerry last time.
Yeah,
Actually,
you're
in the moment. You don't do videos.
Exactly. I want to be in the moment. Plus, like, this is one thing that always stuck with me too, guys. When I'm in like inside any kind of like church house or a church period, I think it's disrespectful to pull out your phone. Like, personally, that's how I was brought up.
Yeah.
So I still have that. I still have that with me ingrained, you know.
That's a good point.
And so that's why I have my phone, you know, not out too.
I'm gonna tell y'all how long it's been since I've been to church. We didn't have goddamn phones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That wasn't even a thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And so yeah, Kanye, he came out, started doing like, and he was so fucking happy, man. Like this, like he was smiling the whole fucking time.
Because that's what he wants. And within 10 years, Kanye's gonna have a mega church if he's not president.
Probably, yeah, I agree.
I swear to God.
The fact that he has that much of a reach, and that was the beauty of it, Chance. Just looking out and seeing all these people inside, enjoying, having a good ass time, dancing, singing the shit that we grew up on, like gospel songs that we grew up on,
and secular songs that we grew up on.
Yes,
you know
so
what I'm saying?
It was cool seeing that.
I can't, like, if people are critical of like, oh, y'all going to church now just because of Kanye, who cares? You're at church.
He's getting you there. He's getting you there.
He got you there. Right.
For
if
real.
That's how you got there.
He really flipped the script on that shit. Because, like, I mean, nobody, like, I mean, as religious, or my intermediate family is really not religious at all. Like, my mom doesn't really go to church, but my grandma loves church. My grandma was so excited when I was like, Grandma, I'm gonna get us tickets to go to church. She literally she's 80 fucking 1 years old. She started doing a fucking like nail, like painting her nails. She's like, oh, okay, well I got all kinds of dresses, and she was just telling me all kind of shit. And then like the morning I woke up at fucking like 11:20, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't get the tickets. You know what I'm saying? On that Saturday, I'm like, fuck, I didn't get the tickets. Whatever. The first thing she asked me, she's like, "Did you get the tickets?" When I walked, I was just like, I was so hurt that I didn't get them. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Fuck, man!" I kind of let her down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to. She wanted to go. She was like, "Hell yeah, I'd love to go to." Hell yeah, I'd love to go.
Bro, I saw a lot of old ladies there. I saw people in wheelchairs, crutches, like they were there, pregnant people, and I'm like, wow,
I would have had my baby there.
Bro, like, you have to realize we have to wait 2 hours before we can get outside in the line.
That's wild, bro.
So they had that much. They just wanted to come to see this man or just to be a part of the experience.
You know what's wild, though? You probably would have gotten there quicker if you would have parked in the parking garage, because, one, parking is free in their parking garage. And two, remember, like, Mike, that's how we went up there when we went like 5 or 6 years. Well, that was fucking longer than that. 15 years ago. Yeah, we were in high school.
And the dope part, too, guys, it was more than just like actual concert. Like, Joel Osteen actually came out and he spoke for 30 minutes or so, which is dope. They also did offering and tithing, which nobody paid. Those buckets were
I would have been taking shit out, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Me, personally, I would have been like, y'all got enough.
You're like, I'm the less fortunate. The less fortunate.
But yeah, so I guess the highlight, circle back to everything. The highlight, once again, just seeing like all the different like.
What was Kim wearing?
Genders.
Was sexy?
She had on some kind of dope ass
pastor's wife look.
Nah, it wasn't even that. It wasn't like the Steve Harvey.
She had like the Hillary Clinton suit on, but like sexy wise.
Nah, it was some kind of like shit was fancy as fuck.
Yo,
I couldn't even describe it. It was
real
like
talk. I'm sorry
velour.
for cutting you off, but Hillary Clinton got a fat ass. Y'all ever notice that? No. Yo, notice it, son. Hillary Clinton.
I'll look next time.
He said Bill knew he was doing.
Yo, y'all know who kind of fine?
Cakes.
Yo, y'all know who kind of fine? I don't know if y'all be following like like politics and shit like that, but Tulsi Gabbard, she's running for president or some shit like that for like the Democratic side. She's like some like, I don't know, like military person like that. Yo, she's actually like mad fine. She got the Rogue shit going on too. Ooh. You know how like Rogue has like that white streak in her hair and shit? Yo, Tulsi Gabbard could get, she had a workout video on the other day because she's 38. So she's like mad young, you know what I'm saying?
I have to check it out. So I'm gonna pull something back. Jack, you mentioned, your incident, I guess, with the lady that got crunk with you.
I would have elbowed her.
And your girl said she knows how you are, and you said you're an ambivert. I like to coin the term, actually, and Kendrick used this before, antisocial extrovert. Because I feel like that sometimes.
You might be right.
Here's what I noticed, and this is going to be a conversation y'all could all jump in on. We'll probably spend a lot of time on this one. We talked about horoscopes before.
Yeah.
Chance, you're a Cancer. Jock, you're a Taurus.
/ Gemini.
I'm a Gemini. I'm in the middle. I feel like the things I've noticed, we were talking about personalities earlier, tendencies, right? So I feel like some Tauruses can be kind of argumentative, right? I feel like Cancers can kind of just be
Mad
like
argumentative.
anti-conflict, like, fuck it, I'd rather just disappear than deal with conflict. And the Gemini is somewhere in between. Like, sometimes very direct, like, very confrontational, and then other times just like, I don't feel like having this argument. Like, I'm just going to disappear for a while. Right? I mean, like,
No,
Gemini's like right in
agree,
the middle.
definitely.
So, I don't know. And then, like, Gerry, you be in the Aquarius.
No, I'm an Aquarius, so, like, what I'm, like, a lot of times, you have to catch my attention. So, like, if things go on a tangent, I could even, like, lose focus because I'm, like, in my head too much.
You just need Adderall.
Yeah.
Hey, but Emily's an Aquarius too, though. And it's funny because you look at, I see so many characteristic traits that you and her both share. Like, a little bit more, like, easygoing, a little bit more go with the flow, free spirit, right? Whereas, like, sometimes the May Taurus part of the Gemini in me comes out where it's, like, the very much, like, demanding control. Like, no, we got to do this, we got to do this. You know, and then that's where the Aquarius is just like, whatever, I'm cool. Let's go with the flow.
Yeah, the only
know?
difference is between you and Emily is you don't talk as much.
Emily talks a lot. In fairness, Emily talks more than anybody I've ever met, but that's why I love her. But horoscopes, I mean, that's something I never used to pay attention to. But now, because it makes sense. You know, like, think about, like, your mom's pregnant at a certain time of the year. The surroundings kind of, you're cooking in the oven a little bit differently than, like, think about, like, mothers. Gerry, you can speak to this being a father. Think about, like, mothers that were pregnant during the summer versus winter months and how it's just a very different situation. In fact, that's why, like, horoscopes, I don't think it has anything to do with stars and the way shit's aligned, but I think a lot of it has to do with your mother's surroundings while you're pregnant.
You know what? Yes, I agree with you on that because my sister was like mad stressed out during like her first pregnancy and shit like that. But like her son is like mad, like, oh, I don't care. Like, you know, like he doesn't give a fuck type shit. Like, but he does get like sensitive, but he takes off after her so fucking much. Like, it's fucking wild. Like, she literally put all of her energy into like him. So like literally he's a spitting image of her. And, like, how they act, how he's always, like, dancing and shit. Like, that's her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I swear to God, it's, like, so fucking weird.
You know what's crazy, Chance? And, like, not to...
No. I was done with that.
Yeah, to, like, agree with what you're saying. So, I never met my dad before, right? Like, at all. If I'm being honest with you guys, like, my stepdad's my real father. And my mom always tells me to this day, like, you act so much like your damn daddy. And so you're right. You know, you can never even meet a person or a person. You still have their mannerisms.
My mom always told me I walk like my dad.
Right,
I barely know my dad. Like, I mean, I know him or whatever.
Right.
But like, he didn't raise me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, she says I have so much like of his characteristics.
Like the way
like
I
I'll
act.
walk anywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's like, yo, you just like your daddy because he'll just walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how me, like I just like get to like I would if there's something going on downtown and I don't have a ride, I'll walk there if I needed to. You know what I'm saying? If I had to be there. Like one time she's like, you just like your daddy. Like you'll walk anywhere. Like what? Okay, like that's random, but hey, it's true, man. Like we take after our like generational fucking like characteristics. That's a wild thing to get into. You know what I'm saying? It's just like some shit that like how does it even come about? You know, like. Is it literally something just like transferred down like mentally?
I don't know, like nature versus nurture. I really don't know because you see both sides. You see that how you're brought up has a lot to do with how you become. So like, your genetic disposition has a lot to do with that as well.
So like you, Mike, you've grown up in two households, like kind of split down through the middle of your life too. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't move to like your dad's when you were like what 13, 12, something like that.
14, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it was like in your adolescence, you know what I'm saying, going into like, you know, like young adulthood type shit. Like, you remind me so much of your mom, but like, you're always on top of your shit like your dad. Like your dad stays on top of like the shits, you know what I'm saying? No matter if it's his, yours, mine's, like he's on top of that shit. Like you have that characteristic, but like you spent less time with him. You know what I'm saying? Like how does that kind of Like, I don't know. What do you get from that? From growing up in two households?
I think like everything that we do, we're constantly trying to solve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why people say death is a release, because like your task list is over.
Right.
You know, so I think that your genes, the way your brain is put together, is going to determine how you approach problem solving. So, you know, the way shit is packaged up, you know, you might be more so like critical thinking, you might be more so looking at facts, detail oriented, versus being a little bit more go with the flow.
Right.
Just based on where your genes have you set up in the past.
Right.
So I think that plays a big part in it. It has a big piece of how you sort through information, how you collect information. Because I think people don't really realize intelligence is all about how you can process and sort information. Doesn't necessarily mean that you are just more talented, but you just might be better at organizing that information. You have better recall of it, so you know more facts, you know how to go through. You've seen so much tape, so to say, that you've practiced every scenario, that you're better at solving problems just because your brain is better at organizing that information. So I think that part has a lot to do with your genetic makeup.
Cool, man.
Woke.
Yo, did y'all just see that? I don't know if y'all peep or I peep, but I peep something out there.
The mobile studio, Spots Park,
Yo.
can be pretty eventful.
Yo.
Let's talk a little bit of pop culture, the latest shit that we've seen.
Yo, Joker 2, dude.
Joker 2. Everybody in here seen Joker, right?
Yeah.
Gary, what was your take on Joker? I don't think we ever got your take.
I mean, like my take, it was you got to see a more humanized version of the Joker. It was.
I think of comic book.
It was dope because it almost brought like his personal life into it a little more. You got to see his relationship with his mother, job. So you know you can kind of relate to it.
And we'll have spoilers in this, so heads up. Skip probably a couple minutes, 3 or so if you haven't seen it.
That shit.
But you should see it by now.
Yeah.
This shit's like been
It's
out a
probably
month
like
and a
not
half.
even in the movies anymore.
True.
Redbox.
Do you think, Gary? So I've heard some theories that all that shit was in his head. Do you think that's possible? Because they showed how, you know, the girl never had any interest in him, even though he thought she did. They showed that he killed it doing stand-up. He didn't. They showed that... Eventually he did. They showed that, you know, he was on the Murray show. Not Maury. He was on the Murray show, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did any of this stuff really actually happen? You know, hey, what's so funny? Oh, you wouldn't understand.
Right.
So I'm like, what the hell? What do you think 2 is going to be about? Is he out?
I kind of hope they introduce Batman in it.
Okay,
I hope
so
they do too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, for one, they actually did introduce Batman in Joker.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
They did, yeah.
But
Bruce Wayne.
I think that since they have greenlighted a sequel, I think that it is going to be based in reality. Like, it's going to play out as it went, but certain parts from the first Joker is going to, you know, like the shit with Zazie Beetz. Like, that wasn't real. Like, he imagined that shit. He did kill the fucking mean fucking guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, all that shit that he happened. Because when I was watching that shit the first day, like, we saw it the day before it actually came out. When I was watching that shit, I noticed from the very beginning that him talking to the black lady psychiatrist or whatever, and then at the very end, him talking to the black lady psychiatrist lady, that they were kind of like, that black lady psychiatrist lady was kind of like the same person, but they were like different. So it's like, yo, like, so even then, I'm kind of like, yo, well, was he always in that? Is it like a mind fuck? You know what I'm saying? But now I think that since they are greenlighting the sequel, they can take it as the narrative was.
What I liked about it was it was all about being noticed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for shit show.
And that's a characteristic of the Joker I feel like people don't really dive into.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 100% true. You know, like if you look at the Dark Knight Returns storyline, the Joker was basically catatonic because Batman disappeared.
Right.
He wasn't getting attention.
Right.
He wasn't being noticed. And the second he realizes that Batman has returned, that's when he becomes the Joker again.
Batman returns.
That was a good one. So I do wonder if they introduce a Batman because now he wants more notice, more recognition. Stakes might get higher. He might do even more chaotic things. I just hope that he has a plan, or like there's some kind of a, if they do introduce a Batman, there's some kind of a conflict. Like he's got a plot and Batman's trying to diffuse it.
Right.
But part of the beauty of the Joker too, though, is he's unpredictable and sometimes he just does shit.
Do you guys think that that they will maybe renege on the Robert Pattinson Batman universe? Or do you think they would try to tie this in?
We don't know if they're going to have a universe. And that could be a tie-in because he's considerably younger than Joaquin Phoenix. So he could be, a 20-year-older, 15-year-older version of the Bruce Wayne we saw in the movie.
For sure. I think that it could definitely be set
modern day,
the late 90s.
Late 90s would be best.
mid to late 90s, you know what I'm saying? Because this was, I heard that the exact year was 83.
Okay.
So, like, if that was 83, then, you know what I'm saying? I could see 93. I can see 93, 95. Can you imagine a
Batman movie, like, in Y2K era?
Yeah, I feel like 95,
that would be so
early
dope.
2000s would be perfect.
Oh, man. Because, look, we're about to be in 2020.
Right.
2000 was 20 years ago.
Yeah. We're about to go right back into, like, the roaring 20s.
Yeah, and I feel like that's decent enough time lapsed.
We should come mob
to be able to bank on nostalgia. Now, if we're talking about 5 years ago, if you do a movie like, oh, yeah, this movie took place in 2014, it'd be like, what? But 20 years ago, it's completely different. I mean, shit was different 5 years ago, but it wouldn't be noticeably different on a movie.
You know what's weird? I mean, shit is mad noticeably different to me, like, nowadays. But really, shit hasn't changed very much. I mean, it has. It has, don't get me wrong. But
it's just evolved.
I mean, shit has just evolved. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, like, I look at some of the people, bro, and it's like I look at my mom, and even though, like, she's aged, like, I can't tell that she's aged. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I look at your mom. I can't tell that she's aged. Oh,
same age always.
Yeah, same age always. You know, like, Giorgio, too. Like, as much as, like, the changes they go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, even, like, personality changes, everything. Like, how we were talking about with your parents. You know what change
I did notice?
What?
Sonic. Y'all saw that, right?
Oh, shit. Sonic. Yeah, they
saw that, right? They actually listen to the fans. Y'all got to be happy about that.
See, that's what movie studios should do. They got to listen to the fans. And I'm not talking about, like, listen to a certain sect of fans that, like, oh, you should reboot this. You should reboot that. No, cut that shit out. Like, stop doing that shit. Be original. Like, the Sonic strip, this is an original movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has potential to be huge.
The opposite side of that, where they didn't listen to fans, one of the biggest travesties in movie history, and I feel like really gave birth to, or really gave death to, the X-Men franchise, how they refused to listen to how Apocalypse should look. Do y'all remember Ivan Ooze?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
That's him.
He looked like Ivan Ooze.
Like, really. Man,
Ivan Ooze at that mud.
Yeah.
Ivan Ooze at that mud.
Yeah, that activist.
Nigga had pints of that shit. He was just selling that shit, giving it away and shit. He had the whole, like, city, you know what I'm saying? About to, like, kill themselves.
Slow down.
He was, like, about to
Speaking of Apocalypse, what you saying, Mike? So I've been watching a lot of Disney Plus and X-Men, like the 90s version, you know? Yep.
Did y'all understand that shit when I put it in the group chat?
I read it.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm like, dang, you know, like you said, Apocalypse should have looked like this in a movie. You know, like, he's just big, menacing, and just... He didn't look that way. He was so skinny and just frail and fragile, and it just wasn't a good look, like at all.
I'm tired of CGI monsters.
I did like how Thanos looked, though.
Yo, I'm gonna tell my kids, this is Thanos, Suge Knight. Yo, that's funny, because he was Thanos. What were you saying, Gary?
No, the good thing about Thanos is they did him right to the point where you don't even want to see the next. I mean, you do want to see the next phase, but since they did it so perfect, you're cool with it even ended right where it was.
Well, did y'all notice that, like, Thanos, like, obviously, like, detanned from like
Endgame? Yeah.
Like, you know, like, because you know when he's like, I'll get it myself. First of all, they're missing a lot. There's a lot of plot holes in the MCU shit. There is
22 movies. I mean, it's
but at the point, what movie was it when he's like, I'll go get it myself?
That was the end of Ultron 2.
What the fuck? Did we even know what he was talking about?
Yeah, we did, because he grabs a gauntlet.
But I mean, like, did we know that the stones were like that was a mission for like one of those nameless CGI armies?
Yeah, because Thor has the vision. He has the vision, and that's when he has, hey, here's my vision, and he has the stone in his head. That's where you kind of get the exposition of, like, the whole Infinity Stones. Because before, it wasn't entirely clear what big story arc they're going to go at. Yeah. Because that even changed.
Right.
The Tesseract, you know, they just kind of made it a scepter, you know? Like, nobody knew that the yellow one was in there, the Mind Stone was in there. You know, people,
Right.
and that's the other funny part, right? So in Infinity War, whenever he gets the Space Stone. And the Maw, Ebony Maw, or whatever, is like...
That dude looks
"No
like a
one-"
discount Star Wars character, right?
Hey, but he was cold, though. I like how
He
he
was
barely
old
moved,
ass.
he talks shit. There would be judgment. But he was like, no one has ever been able to wield 2 Infinity Stones. Loki did. He had the scepter, and he had the Tesseract at some
Loki
point.
really like the coldest villain.
Hey, I know.
Really, he was. That's why he got his own spin-off and shit, though.
I will.
And he's died like 12 times.
So, question then on
That's dope.
X-Men.
That's dope.
I think Thanos was like the coolest.
Yo, you know what I really think? I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off of what you were
you're
going to
not.
say. But you know what I think would be like the coolest idea for like a fucking movie?
What's that?
Now since like Marvel's like fucking obviously huge, they've introduced so many characters. Y'all remember that game Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yes.
Yo, if they made that into a movie, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad at that
You know
shit.
they said they're gonna make a new Mortal Kombat.
Yo,
Chief
first
Keef
of all,
is having a Mortal Kombat tournament, by the way, in California.
word. Hey, I'll have more combat colors. Yo, I would go. Yo, straight up though, if they made a fucking Marvel vs. Capcom movie, I would not be mad at that shit. Like
wouldn't
at
either.
all.
Even if it was just like a little spin-off.
I remember seeing Street Fighter at the movies.
Yeah.
Movie was trash.
Remember
It's
Blanca?
Snorefest.
Remember
Yeah.
Blanca?
Yeah, that did not understand that shit at all. The only thing was cool about that movie was fucking Bison.
Yeah.
Because it was the same guy that was like Gomez in the Addams Family and shit. You ever noticed
That
that?
suit was cold,
And
too.
Van Damme. But fucking Mortal Kombat, seeing the first one, that was like the biggest fucking event that like outside of like Power Rangers movie and shit like that.
Everybody wanted to
Dude,
be Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
Luke
Yo,
Cage.
that was like the biggest fucking like event ever. Like going to see Mortal Kombat in the movies, and it was actually a good movie. Like even though if you watch it now, it's like, oh, this is kind of shit, like CG
Bro.
shit, whatever, like that. Annihilation, which
Oh,
was,
that was
definitely
awful.
a shit movie.
Awful.
Definitely a shit movie.
Yeah.
Still better than like 10 times the movie that comes out today, bro.
Do you remember they show Raiden and he has like
And
the
then he
buzz
gets a
cut?
flat top. Yeah.
And he goes, it's a new look.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage dies in the first like 2 seconds of the movie.
It's a different fucking
Bro,
Sonya.
Imagine how shitty that would be. You just take out Liu Kang. I mean, you just take out Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
He eats fucking souls, and you're like, man, we did that shit.
And
And
then-
then immediately afterwards, they're
Get your
out there
ass whooped.
at Astroworld. It looked like they're not Travis Scott shit. It looked like they're at Six Flags theme park. And then he's
Fiesta,
like,
Texas.
yeah, I'm coming after you, and then kills Johnny Cage in like
And then
2
it's like some
seconds
big
of the second movie.
Shang Zhao is like some big white dude. It's like what the
Shao
fuck?
Kahn.
Like,
he
yeah,
was
Shao
that
Kahn.
weird dude from Commando, the weird villain.
Billy Zane.
It wasn't Billy
Is it-
Zane, but
It's
it
a
was
dude
like
that looks like Billy Zane, though, right? Yeah.
Like that weird, like gorilla, like jawline, you know?
Hell yeah. He looked like Thanos,
He
like the
kinda
human,
did, yeah,
like
he
the
kinda
human
did.
version of
He
Thanos.
did. He was just like one of those big, like he looked like one of those like big UFC dudes. It's like somewhere in the missing link spectrum, you know? Because just like the way his body structure was laid out,
Right.
that dude was crazy.
Yo, I know this wasn't on the docket, but I just saw this shit today. When Floyd announced that he's coming out of retirement. How y'all feel about it?
To fight who? That's why he's coming out of his
He
retirement.
was sitting yesterday courtside with Dana White, so probably another UFC. Speaking of sitting next to UFC motherfuckers, weren't you with fucking
Derek
Derek
Lewis.
Lewis? Why you ain't telling him to square up, bro?
Yeah, man. First of all, I'm getting my ass beat. But
Man, you
yeah,
gotta
it
have more
was
confidence in yourself, son.
it was random, man. So I went inside to check some prices on like tires, right? I see this big ass black dude walk in, thinking like, okay, he must be a football player or some shit, you know. And then and so then I saw this dude. I was like, oh shit, you're Derek Lewis. Started like fanboying out. I'm like, dang, and he could tell you didn't really want to talk. He's like, yeah, man, yeah, you know, it's kind of like he's trying to be nice and shit. And so after you finish fanboying, you know, I'm not a groupie at all. I don't care who the fuck you are. You can be Kanye. I'm not gonna be, oh man, like nah, you know. So yeah. So anyways, so finally we both sat down and we got to a point where we can actually like talk to each other. And he's a cool dude, man. He was going to the Texans game, tailgating. I plugged some stuff to him. You know, of course, yeah. Shout out to that. So hopefully we'll see what happens with that.
Lewis,
I'm about to add him.
You definitely should.
Yeah, but
That
he's
is cool.
probably not gonna marry me, if I'm being honest with you, because it was very quick. He just trying to get out of
He
there.
kind of mad.
Like, oh yeah, that dude, you know. But yeah, he was cool, man. He's very chill. So I feel like on like, and you know, it's also this too, right? Like it's also like a personality and like a character to a certain extent too when you're like in front of the media. So he wasn't like loud, you know, goofy. He just was a chill, like
Well,
quiet
I mean, that's kind
dude,
of his
you know?
claim to fame because he was kind of an overnight celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Like he kind of came out of nowhere,
Yeah.
whooped some ass, and it's like, oh shit, you're the champion, bro. Like
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like so, and that was like what, a year and a half ago?
Or two. So yeah,
Like
yeah.
2 years ago?
Uh-huh.
Like I mean, he's been in the limelight. You know, like. I mean, he's good in it, but it's like you see him out, it's like, oh shit. Because didn't he go to school with y'all?
yeah, he's just a regular person. Yeah, he was he in
Didn't he
South Fair District?
I don't know.
He might have been.
I
Actually,
think
might
he
be
actually
right.
went to Cy Falls.
He probably did. Actually,
I think he actually did go to Cy Falls.
Yeah, so it just
Was they fucking? Yeah, they definitely were. Yo, where we
Bubble
record
Studio
that, guys, where we record that, yo, a bunch of people just come here and fuck, apparently. Like, just straight up. I mean, I've done it before, but, like, I didn't know that it was like this. I didn't know that it was a spot. I just used to come here and skip school, like, 15 years ago.
Spots Park.
Yeah.
spots.
Yo, boy, if y'all ever in the H and, like, y'all need a spot to, like, you know, smash, Spot Spark is
But your
where
windows
it's at.
might get smashed too, though.
Yo, straight up. Yo, we almost had to whoop somebody's ass like 20 minutes. Oh, shit, about an hour ago. Like, crazy.
Yeah, some
man.
dude tried to, or dudes, I guess, tried to like break into like my car, just like
They were casing that shit for
They
sure.
were looking at it and shit, looking at my rims and inside. And then when we got out, they like jumped in the car and like swerved off.
Skirt.
Quick.
Well, we're about the 90-minute mark. you know.
Yo, I think this is gonna be an all-nighter because I don't know what we're gonna do next week. Next week's Thanksgiving, guys. So I don't know if y'all will be getting an episode, like 2 episodes this week. But
we might put out a little teaser to something.
Yeah, most definitely because we got some other shit we're gonna chop it up with y'all, guys, man. We gotta really get the repertoire going.
We're gonna shout out some stuff. So of course we got the YouTube account. We're gonna start putting some content on there, put some videos, some wacky segments we've talked about. Of course, full episodes are gonna stream on there. Now, you know, the first day that they come out, the entire episode will be posted. Of course, you can follow us on Instagram at therep.network. We put some clips out there. Twitter at podcast@me. If you ever want to send any show notes or questions or topics y'all want to discuss,
Or give us feedback. anything.
email us podcast@me@gmail.com. Gary, you got anything to plug?
Yeah, the only plug would be at Stone Cold Steve Flossin IG.
Jock, you got anything to plug?
Of course. So, like I said, you guys know I make clothes. You know, that's my shit. So, once again, go to my website. It's going to be or Instagram, excuse me. It's going to be at Pierre Style Clothing. And that's it. And that's spelled PIERRESTYLE and then clothing. And then once you're actually on the page, you're going to see a link, like in my bio. Click on the page and it takes you directly to, the real website.
Make sure you are subscribed on Apple Podcasts, following on Spotify, or just listening wherever you listen to your podcasts. Tune in next week. Happy Thanksgiving. Peace.
Peace. See y'all.
Hey, hold on real quick. Hold on. Pause.